Making your first $100,000 is the hardest part of entrepreneurship. Not because it's complicated, but because nobody teaches you the real process to get there. Even billionaires struggle to get their first $100,000. In this video, I'm breaking down the top 3 ways that you can make your first $100,000. And if you're going to build a business, learning how to get to $100,000 and beyond is so important. So let's get into it. Strategy number 1, dropshipping. Dropshipping gets a bad name, but hear me out. All dropshipping means is someone buys from your store, but you don't own the physical product. Someone places an order on your store, you take payment, you then tell the supplier to deliver the product, and then you pay the supplier for the product. This is a process many million-dollar companies use. It's not just solopreneurs and entrepreneurs. The benefits of dropshipping are you don't have to hold the stock, there's less cash tied up, and there's less risk ultimately. You don't have to have huge credit lines, you don't need to have an expertise necessarily in running a big business. It's simple. However, the big difference with dropshipping to reach that $100,000 is you have much less of a margin. Let's say on every single order, you're only making 10%. Whereas if you own the product and own the business, you may make as much as 95% margins, especially if you're in software or you provide a service. Reaching that $100,000 becomes harder with dropshipping because you need to sell so much more. Let's say you have a 10% margin. That means you actually have to make $1 million of sales to make that $100,000. And believe me, that's not that crazy, especially if you sell a product for say $1,000. And there are so many out there. $1,000 product times 1,000 is $1 million. So you've got to sell 1,000 products in order to make that $1 million. Again, when thinking about which business you want to start to get to that $100,000, it's really important to understand the dynamics. So with dropshipping, you need to make $1 million at a 10% margin, and then you'll have that $100,000. Strategy number 2 is to actually run a real e-commerce business. Let's say you sell trainers at $100. Let's say you make an 80% margin. Now let's figure out how you're going to generate your first $100,000, and it becomes much easier because you own the process. However, there's a catch. You're going to have to do a lot of marketing. If you want to make $100,000 top line revenue, you need to sell 1,000 of these trainers at £100 at $100. Let's say you're running Facebook ads to generate those sales, and let's say your customer acquisition cost is just $10. Well, you're going to need $10,000 to run those ads and to acquire those customers. So for just $10,000, you can generate that $100,000 in sales. However, the best businesses in the world within e-commerce actually make their money from repeat purchases. And let's say each customer you acquire actually buys 2 trainers. All of a sudden, you don't have to acquire 1,000 customers, you just have to acquire 500. And let's say you acquire 250 through your organic content because you're big on social media, because you've doubled down on TikTok and Instagram content. Let's say your customer acquisition cost stays at $10. You only need $2,500 of marketing money to generate these 250 orders. And between $2,500 of ad spend plus your organic content, if you're getting 500 customers and then within a month they all buy again, you're going to make that $100,000. The more you spend on marketing money obviously dictates how much margin you're going to make, because if you spend so much on marketing, you need to generate much more top line revenue in order to get to that $100,000 level. Well, at 80% margins, $100,000 of sales is going to bring you $80,000. So you actually need to sell a bit more than $100,000 worth. That's why e-commerce is so powerful, especially with a high value product such as trainers. And on to strategy number 3. Oh, and by the way, there's a 4th strategy I'm going to throw in. 3rd strategy is to build a subscription business. Now, this could be e-commerce, and obviously I specialize in that. However, 8 years ago, I actually created a SaaS startup. It was my first one called Appreciate. I learned how to code and launch this product at £1 per dollar per seat model, which is very similar if you've ever used Slack or Google Business Suite. You pay per user. Or if you're new to SaaS, maybe you use Spotify and you're paying, say, $10 a month. That's SaaS. You're paying per month per person. The brilliance of SaaS models is that you can build a piece of software, charge X pounds per month, and in general, you can have as much as a 90% retention of those customers every single month. So if you acquire one person for $10 in a month, you can be pretty confident those customers are going to stay for you for at least 6 months and maybe a whole year. So that $10 turns into $60 or even $120 throughout the entire year. The best SaaS businesses in the world have a 95% retention rate, and software is obviously pretty cheap to run and cheap to manufacture. When I launched my SaaS business, I'd written all the code myself before bringing a CTO on board to finesse the code and scale it. The brilliance of a SaaS model is there are so many different consumer SaaS ideas out there, from music apps to different apps for Shopify, or even service businesses that operate with a piece of software. This could be something like QuickBooks. The reason why this is strategy number 3 is because the margins are so high, you don't need to acquire many customers in order to get to the same amount of revenue as you do with a traditional e-commerce business. Very high margins means you need to make less sales. Now, let's say you keep every customer in your SaaS app for 10 months of the year and they all pay you $10. Or let's say you can get someone to pay $100 to get 12 months and you give them a 2-month discount. This confirms your revenue for the entire year and nobody will churn. So in order to get that first $100,000 from a SaaS platform that costs just $10 a month, you actually only need to acquire 1,000 customers. And again, SaaS can be much cheaper to acquire customers. And of course, you have much higher margins. So actually by generating almost $100,000 of sales in a SaaS platform, often that could look like $95,000 worth of profit. Now, of course, depending on your skill set, you may need to pay other people people to work with you. But the advent of vibe coding means that you can just build something from scratch with a platform, say Lovable, or even through Claude. Building SaaS has never been easier, and there are platforms such as IconMe and Make UGC and Lovable who are valued in the tens of millions or hundreds of millions of dollars with very small teams. 10 years ago, me suggesting to you to build a SaaS business would just be clickbait. In today's world, it's very easy to create an MVP, get your first sales, and see if it's possible. Again, with all these strategies, it requires a certain level of skill set, but it's an example of how you can generate $100,000, which is always important to understand at the beginning what business is doing. Now, on to the bonus strategy number 4. And this is the absolute best business to build in the e-commerce world. It's a subscription business. This marries e-commerce and SaaS. The SaaS model of recurring revenue every single month is what brands such as AG1 and Huel have perfected over the past decade. You pay X amount of dollars in month 1 and you receive your products every single month until you cancel. Another amazing brand that managed to do this perfectly, who managed to execute this very well, is Harry's Razors. These brands are phenomenal because they have a brilliant product, they latch you into a subscription model, and you pay month over month over month. And when the product is so good, you don't want to end your subscription. What's even more amazing about product-led businesses that are on subscription is with products, people like to refer them to their friends. I'm sure you've referred a supplement to a friend or family member and sent them a refer a friend code. Creating products can go viral, which is why I love them so much more than SaaS. And there's something amazing about building a product company. And the great thing about building a subscription business is you can bill people hundreds of dollars a month, especially for a product that they love, and get upwards of 2 years worth of revenue out of someone if the product is so good. Let's take Athletic Greens as an example. Their subscription is almost $200 if you choose their big subscription every single month. And there are people that take that option every single month. Let's say you get someone for 10 months on the advanced AG1 platform. That's $2,000 of revenue. And that $2,000 of revenue, of course, you only need 50 customers and have them for a year to generate $100,000. Now, obviously, a lot of AG1's customers will be single purchase customers, but it just goes to show the power of a subscription business because you get to take a payment every single month and deliver product to someone's door. Again, the downfalls of this strategy are if you have a poor product, people will cancel their subscription. If your products get too expensive, you can't really change someone's subscription price because there will be competitors in the market. So it's really important that your margins are really good to begin with so that you can stomach those things should they go wrong. But the absolute best thing about a subscription business, unlike apparel, is you can often get 6, 7, 8 purchases out of someone, whereas say in trainers, it's going to be very hard to get more than 2 purchases out of a customer. There are obviously costs involved in running a subscription e-commerce business. However, if you take a Shopify brand that doesn't have subscription and another brand that does, the brand that does have a subscription business will be more attractive to investors because at a certain scale, having guaranteed revenue coming in every single month is a really attractive offer. And as a business owner and an entrepreneur, building a business that can fund itself is the most attractive type of business. And getting to that $100,000 worth of sales is much easier if you've got a recurring customer base who are purchasing every single month. The benefit of this is you could generate that $100,000 over 5 months or even 10 months. And to get $10,000 of revenue a month to $20,000 may not cost you much in terms of marketing money, or if you create viral TikTok and Instagram content that customers love to share, or you even create an affiliate network where affiliates are posting content on behalf of your brand, very quickly you can easily get there. Now, of course, you have to do the basics right. You have to have great margins, you've got to nail your marketing, and you've got to build on Shopify so that these tools are easy to use. But my biggest advice when people want to start a business and get it to $100,000 revenue is always build a subscription business, build a product business that people love. And that's the strategy that has worked time and time again over the past decade for so many multi-million-dollar brands. So those are 4 of the strategies that I would use in order to reach your first $100,000. It's so important to understand which type of business you're starting and the pros and cons of each one. Drop shipping is the easiest to start with. However, the margins are low, so you're going to have to sell more. A product company is fantastic, but if it's not a subscription business, you have to work really hard to get a second or third purchase out of someone. Strategy number 3 is build a SaaS business. SaaS has super high margins. It's so easy to get started now, but some people like software and others don't. And number 4 was my personal favorite, a subscription e-commerce business. For me, it ticks all the boxes because you have guaranteed revenue. If your subscribers stick with you, you can have very competitive margins, and people love to talk about the products that they own, which makes it a perfect proposition when you're thinking about how will this company scale. Because remember, your first $100,000 is en route to your first million and 10 million. Let me know in the comments which one of these 4 types of businesses you would be most likely to start to reach your first $100,000. It's not easy, but you have to know at the beginning what are the pros and cons of each business you're going to start, so there's no surprises at the end. Remember, if you've come from software and you want to start a product company, you might be shocked at the gross margins. However, you'll be pleasantly surprised that people love to talk about the product. If this has been helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me understand what to do videos on next and provide better advice for everybody. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.